I've made a list, and I'm going to try and stick to the list so you don't have to sit through a 20-minute video. So I went to 2 days of this festival. There was an amazing sense of community amongst all the Doctor Who fans there. As with any fandom of any show, there are opinions galore on companions, doctors, and can make for some interesting internet arguments. But thankfully for both days there was never really a big argument going on. I know it's not how conversations are supposed to start, but you just sort of kept your ear open and heard different conversations going on around you and just jumped in. Someone's talking about their favourite Doctor, you tell them theirs, yours. Oh, that was so close to being right. And so just the whole convention experience was so welcoming and so warm and so perfect for what you want. Inside the main hall there was like props and costumes, and that was great. And the museum was so up to date, like there was a table of just Series 9 props. I got to touch the stick. Context. You know the stick in The Witch is Familiar? They had that there, and someone allowed me to touch the stick. So there wasn't much classic series. It basically dated back mainly to Series 7, and then there were sort of costumes from each companion. So yes, there was no classic series stuff, but I don't want Australia to be the cause of the death of a Mondasian Cybermen costume or something. The Fisher King is massive! Look at him! Oh, there goes my voice! They also had a table of sort of stuff that was in the moulding stage of, you know, Silurian heads and Zygon faces and Cybermen heads. But I've got a big head, so none of that would fit, so I've got no photos of me wearing that. But if you were a child or someone with a normal sized head, that would be such a cool experience, but I've just got a stupid head. On the topic of Zygons, there was also a thing called the Production Village, which had a bunch of interviews and question and answer sessions of people involved in the 2-part Zygon episode thing. They had the director of the 2-part episode, Daniel... Nethium? I'm covering all the bases I've got here. But he was there giving sort of question and answer and big information about the whole array of things involved in the Zygon episodes. And that's one of the cool things about this festival. You had the directors, you had the production designers, you had the actors, you had the special effects guys, and all of them had this really exclusive behind the scenes knowledge, as well as like never before seen images and videos. So if anything, you come away with knowledge that you won't find in like Doctor Who magazines or the books or DVDs for that matter, now that Confidential's gone. And that's what's made it such a good festival, is you come away with brand new information about the show that you love. And on the other side of the production village was some famous guy again. Rob Lloyd or something. Follow his Twitter and they're on the screen. He goes to the Science of Doctor Who, the Writer's Masterclass, and a Monster Show, which was really good. He's always brilliant, that Rob guy. I personally didn't get to see Science of Doctor Who again, but I did catch the Writer's Masterclass and the Monster thing, and Mark Gatiss was brilliant. He answered all the questions so masterfully, ironically, in a thing called the Masterclass. And it seemed that the people in his audience were really intelligent, which scared me a little bit, because they all came up with really good historical questions asking him about his episodes, so that was really interesting. Again, it was an interesting convention! And the Monster Show had some really cool surprise guests that jumped into the audience and scared the crap out of people, probably literally. And the audience involvement in the monster stuff was also brilliant. That's something that's also great about all the behind the scenes related things, is there was good audience involvement, which makes it, you know, hands-on and interesting for people to see the processes, and also for some people to get involved in the processes. There was also shops dotted around, but I'll get to that in my goodie bag video, oh god, which will be up at some point this week. There was also the big question and answers that were in the main hall. That was something brilliant about it, is that they directed you between the places you need to be. And it was really good because if you were in things like the Production Village or in any of Rob Lloyd's Dropbox theatre shows, they told you it's time to move on so you can get a good seat. Good seats didn't really matter for Sylvester McCoy though, because he just didn't sit still. He standed around, walked. He walked through the audience for his question and answer. He was the dude running around with a microphone, almost literally for most of the time. So he was in the audience. Another thing, it was so involving because the Doctor was walking around. The guy lost his cane though. If you can find Benedict, make sure you direct it back to Sylvester McCoy. He's probably off filming Sherlock. Ha! Filming Sherlock. There was also a question and answer session with Moffat, Ingrid and Capaldi. Did I just... One of those I used their real first name. And that was great. Of course with the big stars there was a few repeated questions, but they tried to keep the answers sort of unique and different. Neither Moffat or Gatiss could escape the Doctor Who Sherlock question. Guys, it's not gonna happen! They're on an inverse cover thing for the Radio Times, is that not enough? I got to ask a question at the Capaldi Ingrid and Moffat session, and I came up with my guitar, and Capaldi said, "Nice Stratocaster. Everybody, that's a Stratocaster." Problem. It's not a Stratocaster, I'm sorry to say, Capaldi. And of course there was also the RealSFX show, which I don't want to spoil anything that happened in it, just in case this whole festival thing happens again, because it was an amazing show and so shocking. Quite literally, some points. Almost crap myself. And Danny was a nice bloke. I really hope, don't take that as an impression, that was just weird. Because on the second day I just walked into the theatre hoping to bump into, you know, someone famous, and there he was! In the RealSFX stand, which is a place I spent pretty much the end of day 2 in. In the RealSFX stand they had like a snow machine, and a Dalek, and a Christmas tree. Christmas card sorted. And I was just lining up, and then someone told me, this person told me to, you know, play the guitar when I get to the Christmas tree. So I did, and then she said, "Oh, I didn't film you, because we're heating up the smoke machine," and then they used the smoke machine, and then this happened. And the whole RealSFX crew was so lovely and so kind, and Danny himself answered so many questions. It was just really great. It was just so cool to be amongst the people that make some of the coolest stuff for the show I love. Video change. I just also wanted to mention that I got a video taken by the BBC guys. I don't know where that's going to end up, but I'll keep you in the loop. Just check my Twitter and I'll tweet a link to it. Also got an interview from The Guardian. Like, I'm a bit of a nervous person outside of cosplay, but as soon as I put on the costume of someone else, I become that persona. Which you can find at the link in the description. And this kid came up to me, "I don't know your name, guy, but you made me sign a piece of paper," which was the weirdest experience I've had so far, apart from meeting Peter Capaldi. Moving on, Capaldi! So I sat on the side of the theatre that would take you straight out and into the hall. I realised straight after it wasn't, and ran straight in, and there was already a guy in the photo opportunity, but I was second in line! Second in line! Sorry. And we lined up, and then someone said, "It's Mr. Peter Capaldi!" And then he came in and said, "Welcome to the photo factory." This is the only video I'm probably going to film at the festival, because it's already day 2 and I'm leaving in 2 hours. I'm currently eating some chips, which is the most Doctor Who thing on average. Currently beside the line for Capaldi, I managed to be second. Well, second in line, 4th or 5th. In terms of getting the photo. But I had this, and a ukulele. He made me play the guitar in front of him. Yeah, and then I shook his hand for like an hour. That's what it felt like. And told him that I'm glad that he's the Doctor, and he had this massive twinkle in his eye, and it was amazing. And I think it is my favourite celebrity meeting moment, despite having sat at a table with Matt Smith and Karen Gillan and Alex Kingston. That was it. He's done so many things right for the character, and it's just, I'm in awe. Every fan that got a photo, he made it an experience. He made it worth the money, and I think he's done something that's almost impossible. So I'm currently sitting at Production Village, waiting for whatever happens next. It seems like it's a Zygon thing. Back to normal present day Will, that's probably filming this tomorrow with a really massive loss of voice and a cold. So see you there, Will. When he came in, he actually said, "I've got 180 photos to do in an hour, so I can't talk to you all, and I'm sorry," and like that sort of a thing. And then the first thing he did was lean down and talk to a poor lady in a wheelchair, and for like a minute and a bit. So he had this just care and warmth and just loveliness, and it just made, you know, the price of everything worth it. And I think he also knew that people paid a lot of money to be there, so he wanted to make it worth the while, and he did. But not just him, everyone there, the whole crew and all the volunteers just made the whole experience of the convention just the best thing it possibly could have been. And that is supposed to be my takeaway message, see? Overall, brill. So thank you for everyone behind the scenes and in front of the scenes, and the guests and the cast and the crew and the RealSFX crew, mainly because you guys are really cool. Thank you for being the people you are, and thank you for taking the time and effort into making such a phenomenal convention. And guys, if you didn't go this time, and if there ever is another Doctor Who festival or, you know, BBC run convention, please go to it. I'm gonna be there because I'm not missing another one. And that's all for this video. Don't forget the next video I have up will be about my TARDIS goodie bag that I got at the convention, and it'll be about what I got as a TARDIS ticket person, as well as what I bought at the convention, which wasn't too much because I kind of have a lot. But until then, I'll see you in the next. I'm currently editing the video you just watched. Well, I actually just bought my Harrison Ford fan event tickets. But I just wanted to say everyone who came up to say hello and everyone who didn't say hello but noticed that I was there or whatever, thank you for doing that, because it means the world to me, the fact that you said, you know, are you the Doctor of Who? And I said, yes. And you said, watch your videos. That means everything to me. And now, because of you guys saying hello to me at the festival, I'm going to try my hardest to make content every week. So in a roundabout way, thanks Doctor Who Australia for putting on the festival event thing, because you've now probably gotten my procrastination level down to 100%. Despite now having nothing to Photoshop, now you've made me basically continually make videos. Which is both good and bad. And it looks like my face is like it's got frostbite because it's just blue. Oop, the phone. Laters, guys.